activity that'll get you out of the house for a couple of hours. But it needs to be affordable. It needs to be family-friendly. Above all, it needs to be fun. Now, let's talk about high school sports. Bang for your buck, school sports provide the perfect game plan for your family. You'll enjoy all of the drama and excitement competitive sports offer. You'll be supporting the future leaders of our community in a meaningful way. Best of all, you can take the entire family without breaking the bank. Heck, you won't even dent it. Now, enough chalk talk. Let's get out there and see what's playing at the high school in your community. School sports. Good for our kids, good for our community. This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
The Drive.
Both those guys have done a good job in what we've asked them to do, and both of them have developed nicely, and both of them have consistently made plays.
Wes and Steve.
Their decision-making, their judgment, their ability not to force things and take what the defense gives and distribute the ball with good decision-making, down in, down out, is probably the only thing that's going to be any different about them, because it's not physical ability or talent. So it's intangibles, leadership, decision-making, judgment, and all those types of things. And, both guys have done a good job in that regard as well.
Listen to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton each weekday afternoon starting at 5. We are your home of ESPN Radio, 97.7 The Zone. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like, there we go. And just like that, we're back. We're live. We're off. We're running. We're brand new. It's Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond, welcome in on a Friday morning. There is a dense fog advisory out there. So if you are out and about, be safe. Be careful on your way into work, into school, wherever you may be headed. Your high today is 70. 62 right now. A little rain in the forecast. So just be safe out there this morning, wherever you're headed on this Friday. Got a lot to get through today. Of course, Talent Heating and Air helping us jumpstart our day. TalentHVAC.com, 256-503-4490. You can find them online. Don't forget, tune-ups, $49. Ask them about that TVA rebate. Yes, it's still going on. $50 from TVA. They charge you $49. You can make $1. Thomas, Terry, Jeremy, give them a call, 256-503-4490 today. Rain in the forecast. That's why a couple high school football games last night were played. Playoff games were played last night. Most of them, 97% of them, are going to be played tonight in the little muck and yuck. But some of them tried to get going last night, and there were a couple of them, couple heck of a ball games. For the first time since 1997, Scottsboro, they move into the semifinals. They knock off Fairview on the road 16-14. The semifinal trip for Scottsboro, only their second ever trip to the semifinals. They did so under the great late Larry Morris. We lost him back in 2022. They made it then. So they are into the semifinals. And for the first time since 1999, Plainview knocks off Good Hope 28-7. Their first semifinal since 1999. Dale Pruitt had them rolling back in the late 80s, early 90s, 89, 90, and 91. 90 and 91, they made the state championship game in 3A. They made their first ever semifinal appearance in 1989, did Plainview, when they were 3A. But now for the first time since 99, Dale Pruitt has them back into the semifinals.
Yeah, that was during his first tenure as head coach. This is his third stint as the Plainview head man. And as we know, Jeremy, his son, and former Alabama football player, Middle Tennessee, and then, of course, longtime defensive assistant and defensive coordinator in the Southeastern Conference that's been screwed over by the NCAA and the University of Tennessee, is now basically the offensive and defensive coordinator for the Plainview Bears, and he's had a huge impact on them since he's been back for his 3 years. And what a job by Plainview! And they won 28-7 against a really good Hope team on the road last night. Watched a little bit of that on NFHS. Looked like quite an atmosphere over there, and
you couldn't hear it. The Good Hope showed out in tremendous support.
Yeah, which is what you would expect, but really good win on the road for Plainview, and now they move on to the 4A semifinals, and congratulations to them. That's huge for the Bears, and then, as you said, I watched a little bit of the Scottsboro game as well. I was flipping back and forth on my NFHS, and Scottsboro kicked a late field goal, and then was able to get a stop on the last possession against certainly. A really good football team. When you talk about, when for Scottsboro, they're 9-4 under Tyler Van, who of course had a lot of success at Woodville. Kind of started turning that program around, and then did a really good job at Sylvania on Sand Mountain, and now has gone to Scottsboro and replaced our good friend Chris Bell, who's now the head coach at Tuscaloosa County. And so, just kudos to Scottsboro. Larry Morris did a great job there for years, but what a win, 16-14 over a really good George Redding Jr. Fairview team. I'll say it, probably the best Fairview team ever. I mean, they were undefeated, and I mean, when you talk about,
they had some impressive wins. Russellville, Priceville,
they were leading late in the game, 14-13, and so before the Scottsboro drive and field goal, so they were a play away, you could say, from going to the semifinals themselves. So hats off to all four of those squads for competing last night and kind of trying to beat some of this inclement weather that's already started this morning. But
little fog, little rain.
Yeah. So I mean, it's what I call Jack the Ripper. But,
this is.
But again, kudos to Scottsboro, kudos to Plainview. So we've got a couple of North Alabama squads that are going to represent in the semifinals in both 4A and 5A.
That Good Hope squad fared in the regular season. Fairview and Good Hope played each other. Yeah. Since they're not separated by distance-wise. Just a few miles. That was a 14-7 ball game. So, I mean, that was a heck of a ball game in the regular season. But
some good football played in Coleman County this year,
Yep. All right. 256-576-4977. Plenty of high school football, playoff football going on tonight through 1 through 7. Still got a lot of teams from North Alabama looking to stamp their tickets to the semifinals.
We could have an all 4A North semifinal.
Yep.
If the Deshler Tigers, who are hosting the Anniston Bulldogs, can win that game. Tough matchup. Anniston's huge. We know they knocked out our Madison Academy Mustangs in round 2 last week, but certainly the Deshler Tigers are going to host that game coming up. So we will certainly be monitoring that. And as you said, though, our high school football scoreboard show, that was our last show last week. But
did it all. We wrapped it up in a nice big bow last week, and we had fun.
Yeah, we had fun. And then on the other side, we'll see who Scottsboro gets, but they'll get the winner of Moody and Briarwood. Moody went to the finals, went to the championship game a year ago under Jake Gaines. Briarwood is actually a sort of a Cinderella story.
Right.
They're 7-5. They don't have a great record, but certainly they're really good. And so Fred Yancey won state championships there many times. And I think Matt Forster's the head coach, and they're really good. So it'll be an interesting game between Briarwood and Moody.
In Class 3A, there'll be a lot of eyes on the Shoals tonight because Mars Hill Bible is welcoming Geraldine.
Should be a heck of a game.
And it was a heck of a ball game last year. They played over in Geraldine last year. This year, they're playing over at Mars Hill Bible over there in Florence. So, wow, that is going to be one heck of a contest. All right, 256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. You can join us this morning. We've got plenty of other stuff to get through. We're going to talk a little college basketball this morning. For the first time this season, we will be joined by Alan Sharpe, UAH women's head coach. Mick Hedgepeth is going to join us in the second hour, the men's coach. We're going to start doing our previews with UAH. We do it each and every week during the college basketball season, and we will do that starting today as the men are back home tomorrow. They have a really long name classic, and we'll it's a really long name. Well, it is. If you add everything together now, if you add everything together, this is how it has to go. It's the Alabama Credit Union Classic presented by Power Brands Hospitality Group inside SportsMed Arena in Spraggins Hall.
Well, say that 3 times fast. I'll let you do that.
I told you it's a rather long name now.
Yeah, there's no question about it. It's and UAH's men and women are well underway, and Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center, sponsors those segments when we're able to catch up and talk. UAH basketball. We're certainly looking forward to that. No question about it. And then of course, brought to you by Pilcher Realty and Appraisals at Prestige Home Brokers. We're going to be catching up with Ace Austin. She is coming off of the best game of her career. She had 21 in Alabama's 84-45 win over Samford. And don't forget, I had to double check this with Samford because they've got a couple of local young ladies on their team.
Yes, one from New Hope.
Yeah, Kaylee Yarbrough. She's a freshman.
Yes.
But then they also have Emily Snoddy, the former Emily Bowman, who is Josh Bowman's older sister, who played at Huntsville High. I thought she was in her final season of eligibility and stayed there. She redshirted her first freshman year at Vanderbilt and has spent the last 4 years. I believe she's the all-time shot block leader in Samford history. But she still is the starting center for the Bulldogs. And so there's a couple of local young ladies on that squad as well. So well represented in that game in Tuscaloosa the other day, and we're going to catch up with Ace for a few minutes.
All right, so Pat from Tuscaloosa has called the show.
Yes.
And he has been panicky, and we said, well, this whole Kalen DeBoer, Penn State thing.
Yeah.
So I got to looking yesterday, and I was like, is there anything to this? Or is it just chatter? Well, a Penn State beat writer and a couple Penn State beat writers have come out now and said Penn State's number one choice. Doesn't mean you're going to get it.
Right.
But their number one choice, Penn State's number one choice to replace James Franklin is Kalen DeBoer of Alabama. That's who they have circled as their number one choice. Doesn't mean they're going to get him. Doesn't mean he's going to entertain it, anything like that. But that's who Penn State is circling their wagons around.
Yeah, he's the number one choice, for Penn State. Supposedly, they're preparing to make him a big offer. I, of course, have been digging on this for a while. It's been actually kind of rumored for a few weeks that Penn State had him on the short list. Now, in the last few days, it's been leaked out that he's the number one choice. I think some of that's Jimmy Sexton. He knows how to play the cards. And certainly, I'm sure they've had some conversations with Penn State. Do I expect him to go to Penn State? I do not. I think Penn State will be going to their second choice. Now there's some, we'll see what happens out there with the coaching carousel and some moves that could happen, certainly. But I do not expect Kalen DeBoer to go to Penn State. I will say that, though, I want to see how the team plays on Saturday and see if they look focused and hopefully not like a disjointed mess. And then, of course, when they go to Auburn, certainly, but getting calls from Iranians. But this morning, but it's certainly not Roger Brown. I can assure you that. But Raj, if you're out there, they've hijacked your phone number. It's Alibaba and AC's cousin. But like I said, I think that certainly Kalen DeBoer is going to be a wanted guy. He with his track record and what he accomplished at Washington, and honestly, what he's done at Alabama has been really solid. I mean, and really good. I mean, when you're replacing Nick Saban, it's nearly impossible. He's got his team in position to make the college football playoff and potentially play for an SEC championship. Now, you've got to do those two things. You've got to beat Eastern Illinois and you've got to beat Auburn. It's because if you do that, I think you take two huge steps toward the playoff, and then you also are playing in Atlanta for the SEC championship. So you have to get through those two hurdles right now. And they call this silly season, whatever they do, rumor season. But if you have a good coach, you got to play through things like that. I mean, even at Alabama with Saban, they had to play through retirement rumors, for the last several years. They had to play through the Texas stuff, 10 plus years ago when Texas was come a-calling, and he certainly listened then and didn't go. So what you hope is that Alabama has created, an environment that Kalen DeBoer and his family are satisfied and being given every opportunity and resource they need. And at Alabama, you're going to get that. And so let
me ask you this, though. You're also going to get pressure.
Yeah, it's pressure.
And you're going to get pressure. Do you think, this is only year 2. They lost to, they had that loss to Florida State, the loss to Oklahoma. The fan base is on edge a little bit. Because, they want to get back to the college football playoffs. They want to get to Atlanta for the SEC championship game. But is the pressure, do you think Kalen DeBoer is built to handle the pressure that is coming right now? Because there is a lot of pressure there. I mean,
it's not like, what he did at UW, he could have had a job for life. But then I think when you take the job at Alabama, you understand that you're replacing Nick Saban, and that while you get every resource and more resources than you had at Washington, there's going to be a different kind of pressure. And sometimes you don't know what it's truly like till you go through it.
Yes.
But, we'll see. Certainly, I feel like he and his staff have done a really good job. I wasn't irate or anything like that, I didn't. And every time you lose a game, people are, some Alabama fans are going to be climbing the walls, and especially when you had a Nick Saban who set such a high standard, they're always going to say, "Well, Coach Saban would have done it this way." I don't like the way they they're running the football. They can't run the football. They can't, they give up too many explosive runs defensively. I don't like what they're doing defensively.
Everything is always going to be compared.
Yeah, it's always going to be compared.
Yes.
It's the same way with Coach Bryant. But I'll be honest. Coach Perkins did a good job at Alabama. Certainly, Wes Neighbors was a part of that transition. But I think Kalen DeBoer has done an even better job, and probably that was just as much pressure as what Coach Perkins had to take over, because Coach Bryant and Coach Saban are the two greatest to ever do it. And Coach Perkins didn't come close to winning a national championship at Alabama. Now, yeah, I think he had a team his last year in '86, a bounce here, a bounce there, could have been good enough to potentially play for one, because he played the team that won it.
Right.
Penn State. Got whipped pretty good, but still Penn State was really good that year with Shane Conlon and those guys. Just ask Miami. That was glorious. But anyway, because everybody basically gave the game to Miami.
Oh, they did.
But again, I just think Alabama, you got to give Kalen DeBoer a chance to keep building this program. And if I wouldn't want to start over if I was Alabama, because in this climate of college football, if you have a coaching change, you're going to lose at least a third of your roster. Honestly, Kalen DeBoer and his staff did a pretty good job of keeping their roster together the last time. But with all the recruiting they've done in 2 years, most all the relationships are built with guys that are Kalen DeBoer guys. Some of them aren't, like Robert Gillespie, Freddie Roach, et cetera.
Right.
But you're going to lose a lot of players. So, and now, if Alabama did make a change, and again, I'll just say this, and I'm going to go on the record. I think Kalen DeBoer should be back for year 3. Right. I don't think he should, even if they don't beat Auburn. I've had people ask me, well, if they don't beat Auburn, do you think he'd be pushed out or fired?
No.
I was like, no. I said, I don't believe he should be. Certainly there would be pressure going into year 3. They'd want you to make the playoffs, I think, to show that progress.
Yes.
And then there'd be a lot of the same feeling after year 2 as there was year 1, that you play yourself out of the playoff late because of a collapse. But, to me, if you beat Auburn next week after you beat Eastern Illinois, and especially if you were to win an SEC championship, it's a hugely successful year 2.
I think so.
I mean,
I'd agree.
You totally flush the 2 losses, and then you're in the tournament where everybody's 0-0.
Right.
So to me, that's what the focus should be. But I think Kalen DeBoer deserves to be back. But
does he have to address this Penn State thing? Does he have to come out and say?
I don't think so. I mean, look, man, he didn't put that out there.
Right.
Others did, saying, well, he's Penn State's number 1 choice. Maybe all he needs to do is talk about, we're focused on Eastern Illinois. I'm happy here. We're focused on, then the Auburn Tigers. We know what's at stake for us. We've got a ton to play for here. We can win an SEC title. We can, beat our chief rival for the 2nd straight year, in-state rival. And then, we got a great recruiting class put together. And then we'll get a chance to play one of 2 opponents. It's basically going to be Texas A&M or Georgia. And then I like what Brooks Austin posted yesterday. The committee is a bunch of idiots. If you look at Notre Dame's resume and Alabama's, it's like looking at a Rolls Royce and a Pinto.
Yes, we know that.
Notre Dame ahead of Alabama because they are utter stupid ass morons, all of them.
Well, hold that
Doofuses.
thought. Hold that thought. Let's get a break. We'll expand on that. We got to get one in real fast. We'll expand on that a little bit more. Plus, we'll let you know who's starting for Auburn on Saturday tomorrow.
I call Alibaba back during the break too.
Go ahead and speak your 5 languages. All right, let's get a break in. Talking Ball 97.
At all. My name is Mike.
You want health insurance?
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Does it really matter which dealership you buy from? Short answer, yes it does. Hello, I'm Don Wessels for Woody Anderson Ford. Before you buy, take just a minute to check out the dealership itself, because where you buy can make all the difference. Sure, customer reviews tell you what others think, and that's good. But when Ford Motor Company itself recognizes a dealer, that's something special. Woody Anderson Ford has earned Ford's Triple Crown Award, an honor achieved by only the top 1% of Ford dealers in America. It's based on superior customer satisfaction, sales excellence, and exceptional service performance. In other words, the best of the best. So when you're ready for your next car, truck, or SUV, come see how we earned our Triple Crown status. Superior service, sales excellence, over-the-top delivery, that's Woody Anderson Ford. And we hope to see you soon.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. Great news! This offer is now extended through the end of December. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
The new favorite place for delicious Mexican food is Coralejos Mexican Grill in Huntsville. Check out their reviews on Facebook and you'll see what people are raving about. Enjoy drink specials all day Monday through Thursday, like house margaritas for $3.99 and 12-ounce drafts for $2. Even vegan-friendly entrees on Monday starting at $5. Coralejos Mexican Grill, 1658 Old Monrovia Road in Huntsville. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to stay updated on their specials.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Today's peaceful serenity message brought to you by Lane Kiffin, who just keeps on giving and giving and giving because he wants you to be in a peaceful state of mind. Today's message, 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
How do you figure out what you really want?
Oh, Lord.
That's your serenity message from Lane Kiffin.
I don't even know if Lane Kiffin knows what he wants hour to hour.
I tell you what, did you see what somebody from Ole Miss did yesterday? One of the chancellors or president or whatever was on a plane, the university plane. Of course, everyone's tracking the plane now.
What'd he do? Did he fake like Lane Kiffin was with him or something?
No, he was going to New Orleans, but
man, he didn't do that to him, did he?
He had the pilot fly towards Baton Rouge as long as he could, and then made a detour over to New Orleans. So here's his Ole Miss plane flying towards Baton Rouge. Oh my goodness! Everybody on the flight tracker was
I mean, he could have really messed with him. Like, okay, we dropped Wayne off in Baton Rouge, and now we're going to get John Summerall. So we're bringing him back for an interview.
Oh my goodness! They were having fun. I don't know.
I'm not trying to mess with all these people, but you know how it is, man.
Just tell me over the little thing. Push the little button and tell me. Tell us.
What happened?
We can't hear you now.
Yeah, you can hear?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Gotcha.
Let's go out to the phone lines real fast. Brandon is with us.
Yeah, that's like a trick Brandon would play on somebody. Just try to fly as close to Baton Rouge as you can, then go to New Orleans. What's up, Brandon?
He ought to take his plane and send it towards Atlanta and then call the sundial down there and book lunch with Arthur Blank and Rich McKay.
So you're saying be the next coach of the Falcons, huh?
Oh, yeah, just make a open table online reservation. I would have them everywhere. I would have these idiots chasing me up one side and down the other. I mean, if he's going to turn it into a game, turn it into a full tilt game.
Wow. Oh, Lane Kiffin has turned this into a game. He's turned this into now supposedly, is it today that he and the athletic director are supposed to meet and talk? I thought it was today.
Yeah, well, I think it was even yesterday. They're supposed to be meeting, yes.
Well, this is what I call bad Lane. The good Lane is the one that's been coaching up till about a few weeks ago. But when you put him in this jar, he doesn't do very well. And I wonder at what point he's going to become toxic to everybody again. You have to keep Lane out of this jar, where everybody's paying attention to him and everything he does is the focal point. That's not the Lane you want. You want the Lane that wants to try to focus and win football games, but the media just can't help themselves. Lane's going to be Lane. And if for some reason Kalen DeBoer were to be leaving Alabama, which I don't think he is, oh God, it would only get worse.
Yeah,
I can just imagine.
It would.
I've already got people calling me wanting to know when he's coming to Alabama, and I'm like, I don't think Kalen DeBoer is leaving.
Yeah, I mean, they look, man. If the Alabama job were to come open, and again, there would be no firing unless there's nothing dastardly going on from the standpoint of violations, conduct, any of that stuff. So that's not happening, and so look. The only way that there would be a change is if Kalen DeBoer chose and his family to leave. And he chose to leave Washington after 2 years because he knew Alabama was coming open. And that's why he was gone within 48 hours. And I think he would have even left. Now, it might not have been 48 hours, but I think he would have even left if he had won the national championship with Washington. Because certainly you're going to celebrate with your team, and then might have been another day or so, but I think he would have been gone. Now, in this situation with Kellen DeBoer now, that's his decision. But all I'll say is coaches have to be careful, because I've seen 3 coaches leave the University of Alabama, and it was a bad move for all 3 of them. All 3 of them ruined their careers. Ray Perkins, he never became a head coach of significance again, because he was a head coach at Arkansas State after that, and then I think he in junior college, and then an NFL assistant, but he never reached the heights of Alabama. We know what Dennis Fraud-Phoney did. He went to Texas A&M, fell on his face, ended up at Texas State. Nobody even knows where the hell he is. So he's been totally out of the spotlight.
Is that the last coach to leave that really kind of surprised people, you think?
Well, yeah, of course.
Because, I mean, the way he did it and how it happened.
Well, in hindsight, though, there was rumors about him going to Kansas, and they were true, too, because he just wasn't built for the Alabama job, and some aren't.
That's the question I'm asking with DeBoer, though. Is he built for this Alabama job?
But you never know, And then, of course, William Curry. We all know what William Curry did. And like Coach Talkin says, you don't leave Alabama for Kentucky. You just don't. That's not what you do.
Right.
And so, every coach that's ever left Alabama free of their own volition, it was a disaster. So I'll just, Kalen DeBoer needs to stick it out. I think he's going to continue to win, but that, again, you never know. And so I just think that's a situation right now. I think Kalen DeBoer should stay. I think he should be back for year 3, no doubt, but we'll see how the team finishes and how focused they look starting on Saturday.
Well, I'm going to say something about Ace in a second, but I want to say something about a football play. So we do a pretty good bit with Caden Proctor. Back in the day, Bear Bryant used to run this tackle eligible play.
Yep, with Jerry Duncan, correct.
I almost wonder if Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb have ever seen that and what their thoughts on it are, because I wonder if we could see that little wrinkle with all the magic that they pulled with him. Because I wouldn't mind seeing that play.
Right.
If it could pan out. If he could catch that ball like Duncan did, that'd be a hard play to stop when you needed something quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because Duncan got down the field. He did not play around. Now, I'm not sure if the rules still allow you to run it that way or not. I'm not that up to date on it, but I would love to see if we could get that in front of them and let them see some of those old-time plays that they ran. And to all the people that are listening, Ace Austin has taken a big step. She's no longer a kind of northeast border personality that was big in high school basketball. She stepped onto the national stage now. And if you listen to this show and you have a daughter and you want somebody to have a role model to look up to, I am telling you, she was raised by the best and she was coached by the best. And her integrity as a person is off the chart. Girls, if you're listening, this is a person in your life. If you make her a role model for you, you will be making the right decision. She is as good a person off the court as she is on the court. And as Freddie Kirby will tell you, this all began with women. Dana and Jana Bright, when they stepped on the court in 1987, son, the Roaches run, because they put everybody on skates and they ran through people like they weren't even there. Those girls were so good that Ricky Austin, as a senior, said, I'm going to date one of them, and I'm going to get married to him, and we're going to win about 15 state championships between all of us on the court, and we're going to go from there. So I'm just telling you, Ace is going to take a big step, and she's going to be a great personality for the state of Alabama. And you need to get your butt in the car, and you need to drive down there, and you need to watch some of their games. They're going to be very exciting, and you want to get in on this. And I just have the ultimate respect for that entire program and everything down there that they've done. I mean, the dad just became Hall of Famer. The mom and the aunt, Dana and Jana, I mean, Jacksonville State took one look at them and never let them leave. They hired them and kept them there their entire careers till they retired.
Right.
These people are the kind of people you want in your life. So if you get a chance to listen to her today, and I'll tell you one thing. Ace is a statesman if there's ever been. She smiles. She'll kill you on the court. But you have no idea how tough this girl is. When I say she is tough, she is tough. She will play through injuries and pain and do things, and you will never know it. And she was trained by Brian Domluck and Doug Bush and some of these other guys. And I'm telling you, all those people she's been through, that she works with, she does, if you got a kid that's really good, pay attention, get these people in your life, you will absolutely not regret it one bit.
Appreciate you, Brandon.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for the phone call. And the words, all right, we got to get a break in because it's 7:32.
Yep.
When we come back.
Alan Sharpe.
Yep, Alan Sharpe. He had some interesting and fun things to say at halftime, and then especially at the postgame on Wednesday.
And then Scott gets to say the name of the showcase again.
Yeah, well, we got to say the name of the showcase. Well, see, he's not playing in the showcase, though. They're not playing until Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Just the men are in the showcase, but we'll say it again in case anybody forgot it because it's like a book.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A mostly cloudy to overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a thing through the course of the afternoon into the evening. Not really talking about any sort of a threat for severe weather. We'll maintain the opportunity for rain as we head into the overnight early into your Saturday. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today. 256-202-4200. That's 256-202-4200.
Annuities, non-advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Listen to the Alabama Football Recap Show every Sunday at 11. Smoked by Dreamland Barbecue. Ain't nothing like 'em nowhere. On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
$7:36, Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond with you here on a Friday morning. A wet and soggy start to your Friday. That's okay. If you don't want to go watch high school football, you can always venture in the gym this weekend. We'll talk men's basketball in the second hour. Women's basketball taking the forefront here right now. The UAH women, they were at home, had their home opener on Wednesday against Reinhardt inside SportsMed Arena in Spraggins Hall.
That's right.
They got a 95-50 win over Reinhardt. So 95 points, good offensively, 50 good defensively, because the goal was to limit Reinhardt to less than 60. That was the goal, 60 or below. That's what Coach said before the game, and it happened. They got it done. And that game with Reinhardt was one of those, what you call a get-right type of game, because UAH needed to work on a lot of things, and they did. They accomplished. They checked off a lot of boxes in that win.
Yeah, they did. No doubt about it. Year 2 for Alan Sharpe, who has done remarkable things already turning around this UAH program. And he probably had the best year, I would say, in school history a season ago.
Yeah.
With what they were able to accomplish. And now year 2, some familiar pieces back like Lily Wilkin, but also some new pieces, a new assistant coach as well on the staff. But certainly the same expectations. And brought to you by Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center. Coach Alan Sharpe's going to join us this morning and talk some UAH Lady Charger basketball. Coach, good morning. You're with Drew and Scott. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Morning, Coach. Well, the win, it was a good win, a therapeutic type of win, I guess you could say, for this team. Kind of got a chance to work and fix a lot of things.
I know it's hard to believe it's basketball season, and we've been going at it for almost a month now, and we've already had some real highs and some real lows. A lot of people don't know about that yet, but we've been at it and had a really tough slate to start the season with the schedule. I'm not sure who would make a schedule like this. Oh, that's me. I did that. So, yeah. But we have found out a lot about our team here early on, playing some really tough competition. And we started off the year, man, we were cooking, we were going, and we went to UNA and won. And, had that game at A&M and won, and beat the number 18 ranked team in the country out in Texas. And then we hit a little skid there, lost some close games. We lost 3 in a row. And that Reinhardt game came at the perfect time the other night, where we could kind of feel like we kind of got it back on track a little bit. I hope it's not fool's gold. The competition was not as good as the others that we had played, but it was good to see the ball go in the hole and to hold our opponent.
Well, and Coach, I know you already played 2 top 25 teams, and Tampa, you lost a tight one over in Cleveland, and then, as you said, you opened the season in Texas against Southwest Minnesota State, but you did check your oil, so to speak, and kind of see where your team is to start the season.
Yeah, I felt like, and we as a staff felt like we were ready for this. We had a good year last year, and I had some important pieces coming back. And let's go. Let's try it. Let's see where we stand. And the deal in Texas is, those things are hard to come by. There's probably only 2 or 3 of those type exempt games that are offered all over the country. And you kind of need to be invited. And it was a compliment to our program that we got to go out there. And anytime you can get 2 free games, and that's why you play. You play for the game. So we were able to get a couple games. And, we're trying to figure out some things here. Obviously, Lily Wilkin is back, and she's averaging almost 25 points a game. But one thing that stands out is, a lot of times in basketball, you hear coaches and commentators speak to the fact of who's going to be that third scorer on their team. Who's the third scorer? We're trying to find out who the second scorer is. We're trying to find out the second one. Obviously, Lily Wilkin can score the ball, but we're trying to figure out who's going to help us scoring the ball consistently, night in and night out. And we're still looking. We really think Ava McSwain's going to really be a good player. She's a freshman from Coleman, and obviously she's a freshman, so it's tough, and there'll be some growing pains. But she really has all the tools, the athleticism, and the size at the guard spot to really be a really good player one day here at UAH. And matter of fact, we threw in the starting lineup the other night at Reinhardt. These next 3 games are non-conference games, so we're going to throw her in the fire and let her fail, and let her get her, let her hair down, and let her play a little bit, so she'll be ready as we get into conference play.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Coach. I think a lot of people say, well, gosh, basketball, they've been playing forever now. They've been practicing forever. They've been doing everything forever. But on the Division II level, and you look at it, if you combine all of just the full team practices, the time you've been allowed on the court until now, it hasn't even been a month. I mean, you've played all these games. You've had a little bit of practices. Yeah, you had the little work with the individuals, but as a full team, as far as practices go and games, it hasn't even been a month.
No, I know. And we talk about this a lot as a staff. We're going into some of these games and, it's late in the game, ball's knocked out of bounds on the sideline, and, it's early November. What are we running? We don't have any idea what we're doing. It's so early. Like,
Yes.
There's so many things we need to get put in place, and you don't have enough time with the, limitations on practice time. So it's this time of year for most teams. It's a work in progress, and there's things that, especially special situations and late game situations, that you just haven't had the time to prepare for. So you rely on returners and ones that have been in your program a little while and hope that they can carry the load and kind of get you through these early stages of the season.
And then, Coach, you did lose some key experience on the interior. How do you rebuild that inside game to provide balance? Because you certainly have a chance to have some strong guard play.
Yeah, it's a tough story here, and because it's so early, many of you may not know about this, but
yes, sir.
Lindsey Garner was on the bench last year. She's 6'2", 6'3", transferred from West Georgia, and she was on the bench last year, and we didn't necessarily need her because we had those two bigs last year. So she sat out, and she was in the mix, and she was going, and she was really playing well, had 8 or 10 points in a couple of games, the last few that we played. And then the night before, whatever that was, Tuesday night, before we played Reinhardt, she tore her knee up.
Wow.
And the x-ray is okay, but there's an MRI scheduled for today. So we'll find out a little bit more about where she stands. But she was going to be a post player, a true 5-man that gave us someone that we could throw the ball to in the post. And with that situation, the way it is now, we're trying to figure some things out. And if she's not with us, we will be very guard oriented. But you still got to find a way to get the ball to the paint. Even if you don't have a post player, you got to get it to the paint in some shape, form, or fashion. You got to drive it. You got to go to the offensive glass, and we'll find ways to work around that if she's not going to be with us. But hopefully, we'll get some better news today or the first of next week.
If she's not there, who would you like to see kind of step up a little bit and maybe get thrown into the fire a little bit more than what they were expected to?
Well, she played a little bit the other night, and the other freshman, Mackenzie Prokofsky, has a chance to be good. Now, she's not quite ready, but she is a big body, and we're going to try to speed up the learning process quickly with her because she may not be ready right now, but before it's all said and done, we may need her because of her size and her physicality in the paint. In the meanwhile, we'll just kind of do it by committee. We'll play a little bit of small ball. We'll have to really try to keep the ball from going to the post defensively. We'll have to double the post. We'll have to find ways to make it work, being a little bit smaller. But, we also, because of Lindsay and her knee situation, we played that game at Alabama A&M and won without her. She wasn't ready to play. We played that game at UNA without her and beat UNA without her. So we know that it's there. We can do it. We just look a little bit differently without her, not having a post player to throw the ball to.
Well, we're talking to Alan Sharpe. We're talking UAH ladies basketball. And Coach, this is really a young group for you, though. You only have 2 seniors on the squad.
It is, but, there are some returners that have some experience. It's just so hard. Every year's a little bit different with newcomers and just trying to get them all on the same page. And you try to figure out a rotation and who can do what. But the good thing about this team is that we do have those 2 seniors, and they're very, very important to what we're trying to do. Just not only on the floor, but from a leadership standpoint. And they're good. Like, it's hard to find, Lily Wilkin was GST Player of the Year, and she is like zero maintenance, like no issues with her at all, and a tremendous leader. And those are really, really hard to find. Oftentimes, those ones that are your best players are sometimes the most aggravating ones you got on the team because they think they're really good and they're sometimes hard to coach. But the leadership from those two, Lily and Millie, we're really counting on them here as we move into the season.
Well, you got 2 more dress rehearsals, Cumberland and Johnson, and then the Gulf South Conference. I mean, you guys can't control this. They really threw everything at you in the month of December, as it's the 2 biggest road trips in the month of December: West Florida, Valdosta, Delta, Mississippi College, all in 1 month. But 2 more dress rehearsals, Cumberland and Johnson, before the conference season.
I know it. We're going to practice today at 11. We're going to get after it, and we're going to have a couple practices next week to get ready for Cumberland. And hopefully we'll be as prepared as we can be, knowing that there's always room for improvement to try to get better and clean things up. But I mentioned to you the other night, Scott, about those games, about Reinhardt and some of these non-conference games. And the old saying is you make the games like practices and you make the practices like games. And, whether it's a non-conference game or a practice, we treat them all the same. And we're just trying to get better each and every day we go out there.
Well, and Coach, what have you been most happy with, though? I mean, certainly it's been a little bit of a slow start, but as you said, this team's gone through some injuries. They've gone through some adversity. You're still growing and trying to get even though you have some ladies that returned, even younger players, you have 2 seniors to build around. But what have you been most pleased about with the start so far?
The thing I enjoy the most, and this is after, this is 25 years of coaching and predominantly on the men's side.
Yes.
I love going to practice. I love being around them. You don't ever have to worry about bad body language or attitude issues or teammate issues. Like there are no issues with this team. The only issues that we have is winning a ball game. And not many programs and not many coaches can say that because oftentimes they're dealing with most of the problems occur away from the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And we have zero issues with this bunch of young ladies, and they're a joy to be around every day. And they take very well to the coaching. We hold them accountable for everything that they do, and they don't flinch. They're tough as boots, and we enjoy being around them.
Well, hey, Chloe Siegel had a heck of a game the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, perfect from the
7
field
threes.
and perfect from the charity stripe.
Wow.
I know it. I hope she didn't use them all up. That's like me going to the driving range before I go tee off and I hit all those good shots in the driving range.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm going to be beating and hacking when I get on the course. But, she was, we've been waiting on that from Chloe. We all know she can do that. And she got the flu, a few weeks ago and got sick and got out of the mix. And that was the Chloe we've been waiting on all year. The other night, the way she shot the basketball. And, those shooters, man, they can make you look like a good coach and make you look like you know what you're doing. They can just raise up and make a shot. And people are like, man, that's good offense. Coach is a good coach. No, we just got some really good shooters. So,
is she in range when she crosses half court?
She is. When she comes right as she steps off the parking lot out front, when she gets up the steps in front of Sprague, she's in range.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, too, this is our maiden voyage for this year, too. Talk about your Summer Kramer, your new assistant as well.
Yeah, Summer's good. She's learning, and she actually, it's a funny story. She came from Reinhardt, and I didn't know her at all.
Oh, okay.
And
small world.
But yeah, and she done really well. Her and Kyle, I tell you, they Kyle Overstreet, they make it where all I have to do is coach. And oftentimes at small college basketball level, that head coach is dealing with a bunch of other stuff and, recruiting and ordering gear and financial aid and admissions and all this kind of stuff. But they do a great job of just allowing me to just coach the team. And I'm really, really lucky to have both of those on staff.
Well, we are very lucky to have the relationship thanks to the Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center, getting a chance to catch up with you. Talk some UAH hoops. You're going to get a small break before you get cranked up coming up on Tuesday. So we're looking forward to that. But, Coach, really appreciate the time. Good luck to the Lady Chargers. Have a great practice today, and thank you for the time.
Yep.
Yep, sounds good, guys. Next Tuesday, it's a doubleheader with the men. It's an early tip. We're at 1. I think the men are at 3 Tuesday here in Spraggins.
Matinee.
All right, a little afternoon basketball.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Alan Sharpe, kind enough to spend some time with us, as always. Sports Med Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives, the official medical providers of the UAH Chargers. Let's get a break in, wrap up hour 1.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone and West Point grad Joe Ross of Higher Echelon is giving you 4 chances a day to qualify to win tickets to this year's Army-Navy game. Joe is a former Army football captain, and now Higher Echelon's mission is to optimize organizational performance to meet the rapidly changing, complex requirements of today's business world. We've got an Army-Navy trivia question for you. Get the question right, and you're in for the drawing on November 26th to win tickets to this year's game.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says, because try losing one of those little games. And if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama, located online at universitykia.com.
Hopping on a dream. That's Penn State's philosophy
They're
right
shooting
now.
for the moon, Alice.
Hopping on a dream to get Kalen DeBoer.
They're going to try to shoot their shot, brother.
But do you blame them?
No.
I mean, look.
I don't blame anybody for trying.
LSU shot a shot to try to get Nick Saban.
I mean, what's so funny is...
Did they not?
Now the betting favorite is Lane Kiffin. It just keeps going to the betting favorite.
For who?
For LSU.
Of course. Well, yeah.
He told him to pound sand.
Yeah. But look, LSU shot the shot. They tried to get Nick Saban.
Yeah.
I mean, they did. Now you're right.
I mean,
yesterday
Texas tried.
that shifted.
A lot of people have tried.
Yeah, you got it. If you're Penn State, you have to.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's the guy you want. I mean, is that the guy though? I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, if you're going to shoot your shot and you're going to try to put $12, $13 million on the table, why not go for Urban Meyer? Why not go for Nick Saban? I mean, seriously though. I mean, of all the coaches, that's the guy you're going to go after.
I mean, I guess you could try Herb. He's a little younger.
But I'm just saying, I mean, if you're gonna live in a fantasy world,
well,
is Kalen DeBoer the guy you're really gonna put your money to?
I think you're wasting your time if you focus on guys like Nick Saban and Herb, because I think both of them aren't in favor of the current climate of coaching. And both of them have been around it, and they don't want to go through all this NIL and portal stuff. Now, Coach Saban was handling it before he retired, but the totality of it all, and then not being able to hire the coaches he wants because the NCAA is as full of crap as any organization that's ever been handled. And, and Tennessee's got a bunch of low-life scumbags that used to work for them. Then they torpedo people's careers at that crap hole.
Oh,
it's just a fact.
Knoxville, not the state though. Knoxville,
no, just Tennessee, the University of Tennessee.
There we go. Okay,
there's no, this is not speculation or opinion.
No, it's fact.
Some trash folks have worked there.
Ace Austin, she's on next.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
College basketball tonight, UAB 7.5-point home favorites at South Alabama, 150.5 the total at Bartow Arena. College football tomorrow, South Florida 21.5-point favorites at UAB. Jacksonville State laying 1.5 at FIU. Southern Miss 1.5 favorite at South Alabama, while Troy lays 10.5 at Veterans Memorial against Georgia State, 51.5 the over/under. In the NFL Sunday, Kirk Cousins getting the start at quarterback for the injured Michael Penix Jr. The Falcons look to add a 5-game slide. They're a 2.5-point underdog at the Saints, 40.5 the total. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour 2, SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives, helping us get started here in hour number 2. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone, 256-881-5151. If you want to experience the SportsMed difference, give them a call, sportsmedalabama.com, helping us get ready for hour number 2. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Mick Hedgepeth will join us, head coach of the UAH men's basketball program. They're in action tomorrow. But we have been very fortunate over the last, year and a half? About a year and a half.
Yeah.
Very fortunate enough to connect with our next guest. I had the privilege of catching her in action a couple times, doing a few games, doing a couple spring garden games.
Including I think the biggest women's game in the state last year.
Yes, Hazel Green and Spring Garden. Unbelievable atmosphere, unbelievable night. But she has taken her talents to the capstone, and a couple nicks and bruises slowed her out of the gate, but now starting to run full steam. and that engine is starting to get cranked up and looking really good as we expected. But Ace Austin doing big things early for Alabama.
Yeah, no doubt. She's averaging double digits off the bench in her 4 games. She missed the season opener due to a little bit of a quad injury. No question about that. But she's one of the toughest young ladies you're ever going to meet. We know the ankle injury she played through, the severe one that she suffered in regional play last year, still led her team to state championship to cap one of the most storied careers in the AHSAA's history. Her father, Ricky Austin, great friend of the show, just was elected to the Alabama High School Athletic Association Hall of Fame. And now Ace, in 4 games played at the University of Alabama, averaging about 13 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds per game. She's made a huge impact as the Crimson Tide is off to a 5-0 start, and now they get a chance to go to the Bahamas. How fun is that? As they will be headed, Monday to play Harvard. But Ace Austin, brought to you by Brandon Pilchers, great help, is going to join us now this morning and talk about her career game against Samford this past week. She scored 21 off the bench as the Crimson Tide had a huge second half to win 84-45, and she's now with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, Spring Garden Zone. Go Garden Go, and that's Ace Austin. Ace, good morning. You're with Drew and Scott yet again. We greatly appreciate your time. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are y'all? Thank y'all for having me on here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Good. Are you settling into the college life, into the college game?
Talk about that a little bit.
Oh yes, for sure. I've been settled in pretty good. It's been a pretty smooth and easy transition, I'd have to say.
Yeah, and see, we just talked to Alan Sharpe at UAH, and they only have been at it about a month, but on the Division I calendar, it's much different. So for our listeners, we caught up with you after that Hazel Green game. You capped off your amazing Miss Basketball career with another state championship, but pretty much shortly after you graduated, you were already going, hot and heavy in Tuscaloosa. Talk about that a little bit.
Yes, I believe we had to be here May 28th.
Wow, see?
Yeah, so I got here May 28th, and, we had to do just some little stuff before we could actually start. Then we just hit it heavy with summer workout, summer practice. It was practice I had to get up about 6:30 every morning all summer. So that wasn't too bad. On Fridays, we went and did some boxing classes every Friday. So after all that, I got to go home for, I think, about a week and a half. I think it was. I think I got a week and a half. Everybody did. And then once we got back, it was full go. So we've been at it for a long time. But it's been good, though. It's been a pretty easy transition, I would say. But I think that's also because I've been around some good people.
Talk about the injury. It kind of slowed you down a little bit to start, but you're getting back to full speed. But just talk about having to battle that right out of the gate.
Yeah, I had my ankle injury and I had hurt my quad.
That's right.
Both was just very aggravating because I think everybody knows just how bad I want to be out there on the court. The ankle injury, right when I did it, though, it was the same one I had hurt in basketball, volleyball. So I was constantly in the training room doing rehab 3 times a day, trying to get back quick. But that one was a pretty rough one. I finally, Alicia, our trainer, she did a great job with me, helping me get back. I think I got back quicker than most people would get back, I guess you would have to say. So I'm glad I got back and on that floor, because it was, right, just a couple of, days before the Florida State game. And so after that, I think a few weeks after, so it was in practice and I got a knee to the quad, but it was on the outside of the quad. And that happened on a Tuesday. And, my hard-headed self, thinking I'm always okay. But I guess that's just what a competitor is. I didn't really say anything about it until that Thursday, Friday. And because it was just hard as a rock, couldn't move it. I was like, something's a little strange about this. And I was like, hey, I got hit to the quad. It's going to be fine. I was like, yeah, let's just, do some treatment on it. So Saturday came, practice was tough. I mean, I was in pain. I was in pain, but I wasn't going to say I was in that much pain. But, got through it. And then Sunday we had that exhibition game, and I woke up and my leg was just fully bruised. So I knew at that moment that I wasn't going to be able to play.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was going to be out a couple of games. So that was very frustrating just because how much I wanted to be out there and with my teammates. But I knew at the same time it wasn't smart for my health. That's just kind of risking the future with my games if I was going to go out there and play them games. But, I was frustrated, but I had a lot of good people, putting some words in my ear, and that really meant a lot to me.
Well, and Scott and I've been blessed to be around you, and we were there for your signing with the University of Alabama, and we had a chance to watch you compete, and so we knew that a lot of your motivation is you are very proud of where you're from and what Spring Garden has been and what y'all built over there, but you also want to prove that you can go to the highest level of women's basketball and compete, and so not being on the floor to start the season, I would imagine, was that probably as hard a situation as you've been through so far earlier in your career?
Yes, it was hard just because, you're the first ever college game.
Yep.
But you just always had to find positives in it. You just had to know that just wasn't a smart thing to do, to go out there and play that game. But at the same time, it was one of the things that's there's plenty of games the rest of the season. You're going to get that first game eventually. But I really just had some good advice from some great people.
What has been, and there is a huge difference between high school basketball and college basketball, and it does take people, a little bit to adjust to it. What has been some of those biggest changes going from that high school game to, and it's SEC basketball, so it's elite college basketball? What has been some of the biggest changes?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of big changes. And it's honestly just a lot of the little things.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with practice, high school practices was intense, but these are intense and everything's just very intentional. Everything is for a reason, and things like that, and just the pace of the game, I would have to say it is so much different, but I knew I was trying to prepare myself for that. I knew that was going to be a different thing. Just the pace of the game, you just have to have your strength too. A lot of things different, but I think for me, it's the biggest thing. I think for all college athletes is just not physical, but mental. You just got to always stay mentally strong. Academically, your health wise, you just got to stay positive about that, and just on the floor. So I think for me, that's just the biggest thing because you're busy all day. So that's one thing that's just honestly such a big change.
Well, and then talk about too. You came in at a time when this Alabama program is really starting to reestablish itself, and they lost 3 outstanding players all to to professional basketball. We know the success that Aaliyah Nye had, being an outstanding rookie season with the Las Vegas Aces, and they won the WNBA championship. Sarah Ashley Bark had a great year with the Los Angeles Sparks. Zay Green playing professionally, but so this is a little bit of a different team. So talk about the you fitting in with the new pieces and how it's been so far transitioning.
Yes, honestly, it's just a brand new team. There's 60 people I think on this team. So you can consider that as a full new team because some of the players that's playing this year was hurt last year. So there was really, maybe 3 people that truly played last year. So, that just took a lot of just everybody having to trust each other and connect. But I would have to say that this team connected really quick and well. That's one thing that has to happen when it's a full new team. But for me, it's one of the things, you just got to go in there, play your role, do the job that's going to help the team. You can't do what you want to do. It's got to be for, the person beside you. And that's what I've went in doing ever since the summer. And I think that's just a mindset that a lot of freshmen need to have. Hey, you're going in there to represent the University of Alabama and, to be the best version of you, not for yourself, but for your team and the people beside you. So I think that was my biggest thing of just doing that. And just our team was always, constantly just communicating to each other, just, trying for all of us to just get connected and on the same page.
I know you've played in hundreds of basketball games. You had the high school games, AAU games, but what were the emotions like when you first, I know you first stepped out onto the field, on the court in an Alabama uniform for the very first time out there. What were those emotions like?
Oh, yeah, the emotions, I mean, they were good emotions because it's just something I've always dreamed of since I was little, playing your first college game. So emotions were high, I will have to say. But to be honest, I think, for me, it's always just be where your feet are. I don't let the emotions, get ahead of me. But I think my brothers probably had a lot more emotions than I do. I don't think they slept the night before just because I was about to play.
Nice.
But, but I think it's just it's been amazing. And that first game was amazing just because it's something that I've always dreamed of. You're just getting to represent the University of Alabama.
Well, and then this past game, I felt like I was watching a spring garden game, though. It felt like you finally got into that rhythm offensively where you guys are just flowing and you made a lot of great plays. I was following on social media and I saw that you got into the second half and the team overall too. You provided a great spark. It was kind of a slow first quarter against Samford, but you certainly got into an offensive rhythm in the second half and shot the three really well. Transition was outstanding. You did a great job of sharing the basketball. Did you feel like that was kind of your breakout game a little bit this past week?
Yes, I will. I would have to say that. I mean, I felt like I just felt really comfortable, where I was at. I felt like, one thing you just have to have confidence in a lot of things. Just if you're slacking a little bit of confidence, that can mess up a lot. But that's one thing, being an athlete, I mean, you need some advice from other people. And I had some, my parents give me advice, but, I had some higher up people that just really gave me such good advice. Like, hey, just keep being you.
Right.
And I mean, that's going to take you a long way. And them words can take you a long way, farther than you think they can. But I did feel just really comfortable out there. And I think, also it's just me and the teammates, like, I feel like we're all just, really dialed in right now. I think we're all really being intentional on the little things, just trying to get better. I think when we do that, it makes all of us better. And so for me, like when I go into the game, I try to just, give us a little spark, maybe on offense, maybe on defense. So I'm just, trying to play the role that's going to help our team the best.
You excited to go to the Bahamas?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, more than excited. We leave really early tomorrow. But, we didn't do this at Spring Garden. So I'm really excited to experience something like this.
Yeah, we can't wait to see your social media on that because that's one reason why we had to set this up. We really appreciate Brandon Pilcher and his help. But we wanted to talk to you before because we knew y'all were going to be gone for several days. So we wanted to set this interview up, and especially coming off of the breakout game you had. But we would be remiss as we're last couple of minutes with you. I know it was a very emotional time for your family, too. Talk about your father, Ricky, being elected to the Alabama High School Athletic Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. I was more than happy for him. My mom had called me that night and, told me, like, hey, your dad got inducted to the Hall of Fame. And so I was like, okay, I'll call him. And I called him, and he was on his way home from scouting or something.
Right.
And so I called him, and he was like, you're the first one that's told me, congrats.
Wow,
I said, well, I told you years ago you were going to be inducted, so, no surprise to you, right? And he just started laughing. But, I'm real happy for him. I mean, he deserves every bit of it, I personally think. I mean, tons of countless hours that, nobody sees, but he's just had a great career. I mean, but not only that, like, I think he's just impacted, women's basketball in the state of Alabama. And so, I mean, I'm just so happy for him just because I feel like, I've watched his journey since I was little.
Yep, that's right.
Everything about it, So, obviously, when I was little, I kept asking him when he was going to be in the Hall of Fame. He probably got annoyed over that. But yeah, he deserves every bit of it. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, and it was cool seeing him in the stands as you played so well on Wednesday. I mean, I saw that shot of him, and he looked like he was truly enjoying himself. And I'd be remiss because I've known her since she was 3, but I've got to ask you, I know she's been a big part of the program. This is her 3rd year, but how is your relationship going with my girl A-Train, Audrey Ritchie?
Oh yeah, I love her. She's amazing. She's a great person. She helps me out so much, but I really enjoy being around her. She's amazing.
Well, you've done an amazing job, and congratulations on the great start. We're certainly very proud of you. We're going to be following your career very closely. We look forward to catching up throughout your journey this year as a freshman on this Alabama team, off to a 5-0 start, headed to play Harvard on Monday, and then get the winner, I believe, on Wednesday of USF in Minnesota over in this Pink Flamingo Classic in the Bahamas. But Ace, thank you for the time. We know you have a very tight schedule. But again, safe travels to the Bahamas, and congratulations on the great start to your career.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me and everything y'all do.
Thank you, Ace. We appreciate
All right, thanks,
that.
Ace. All right, let's get a break in, and we will be right back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Don't you wish that you had some secrets to help you get an edge on your business competition? Wouldn't it be great if someone could solve challenges at your company that you don't have the time or expertise to fix on your own? You know, there is a solution. Higher Echelon is a world-class consulting firm based in Huntsville that trains employees in sports psychology secrets to drastically improve work performance. Founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and has put that experience to good use. Higher Echelon helps organizations shave hundreds of hours off work time by improving processes, and Higher Echelon helps organizations save and make more money by walking them through technology updates and implementations. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to stay stuck. Higher Echelon is a trusted partner in organizational excellence. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com today to take your company to the next level. Go higher and go Army.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
It's early Black Friday at Woody Anderson Ford, and that means loads of incentives to make owning or leasing an award-winning Ford that much easier. Hello, I'm Don Wessels, and let's talk Ford owner loyalty first. If you currently own a Ford, you'll get a $1,500 bonus on 25 Bronco Sport and 25 Explorer, plus a $1,000 bonus on 25 F-150, no trade-in required. Happen to own a Bronco Sport competitor? you'll get a $2,000 bonus. Same for Conquest Cash on 25 Bronco and Explorer. Plus, get 0% financing for 60 months on select Fords, including 25 F-150, Explorer, Escape, and more. And you'll make no payments for 90 days with approved credit. Woody Anderson Ford also has 0 down leases on our most popular models, and they come with 2 years of premium complimentary maintenance. Hurry though, these early Black Friday offers end November 29th. It's a smart time to buy. Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
Your home for Madison Academy football is on the Mustang Zone.
Looks right, tosses it, wide open, touchdown Mustangs. There on the reception, Zion Williams on the wheel route, and that's 6 on the board there for Madison Academy.
Only on 97.7 ESPN.com and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
North of the border of old Mexico, I rode one day to the cow town of San Angelo.
Oh, is this Marty? Sounds like Marty Robbins.
You got a thumbs up on that one.
Nice.
Look at you.
Well, heck, Brandon loves Marty Robbins too. I mean,
do you drive around listening to Marty Robbins?
It just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, and I have to go to YouTube. Hell, I don't have no damn CD player.
You got a phone.
I know. That's what I use.
You can download Apple Music,
and you can phone, and I use YouTube.
Do you have a playlist through Apple Music on your phone?
No, I don't really use Apple Music. I guess I should. I'm always late to the party.
Keyword late.
Yeah. Well, hell, about 30 seconds.
256-576-4977. That's the number to the phone lines. Join us on a Friday. Just in case you need to know, tomorrow, 11 a.m., Texas A&M in Sanford. By the way, Texas A&M.
It's going to be 60-0.
Yeah, but it continues a streak for them.
Right.
It continues a streak. Auburn fired their coach.
Right.
Florida fired their coach.
Right.
Arkansas fired their coach.
You're saying pretty much everybody they're playing fired their coach.
LSU fired their coach. Sanford fired their coach.
After about 10 years, Chris Hatcher.
Yeah.
Former Hal Mummy associate.
Yeah.
Or assistant, whatever you want to say.
So
Hal Mummy tree.
Yeah.
Mike
so
Leach.
it continues their trend. It continues the trend for Texas A&M. Now, I don't believe Steve Sarkisian is going to get fired before next week.
Man, did you
so
see
that's
that
going to
rant?
end.
You're talking about some rants. He was confronted directly, and he told everybody to stuff it.
Yeah, because everybody's piling on the fact that he's not going to be there next year because of his choice that he's going to go to the NFL.
Yeah, and he's saying call Chris Del Conte, call him. Quit. As he said, some Joe Blow putting it out there.
Oh, let's get Wolverine Dan in on the phone lines real fast. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Dan.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. So let's talk a little bit about my Lions, okay? I still think they're in the thick of it. I think Chicago, the second half of their season, as Tom said on his show, is the toughest in the NFL. You've got the Lions, you've got twice with the Packers, 49ers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I think I don't think the Bears are going to finish first place.
No, they got a good shot at the division. Minnesota's not very good.
I still don't think they're going to win it. Okay, let's just say that. I mean, these are tough games they're going to play. Now, I thought we played quite well against Philadelphia. I don't think Goff had his best day.
No, he didn't.
We had 6 players that were out with injuries. Laporta was one of the big ones, and Decker. Offensive team there with the lineman and our great tight end. I think we should have probably doubled up on the passes to Gibbs because he was very, very effective. That would have been freed probably Williams to go over the middle. That wasn't done. But, I'm not the coach. Campbell's calling it. I know we're going to get in the playoffs. How far we go, I think we'll go probably for sure further than we did last year because we lost in the first round of the playoffs, guys. But What do you think about the Lions? What's your opinion on them?
Well, they just need to be healthy. Last year, the injuries on defense eventually caught up to them. They were one of the best offenses in the NFL. With Aiden Hutchinson back this year, healthy, I just think, and if they need to get their secondary healthy, fully healthy, because I know Terrion Arnold's battled some things, Branch has battled some suspensions and some injuries. They just need to be healthy. If they're healthy going into the postseason, I'll just throw a record out there, Dan. If they end up 11-6, 12-5, whatever, and they win the division, I still think they're very, very dangerous. I think they have the capability to go on the road and win in the playoffs. It kind of reminds me of Aaron Rodgers' one Super Bowl win when the Packers, I think they were 10-6. They didn't even have a great record. I think they won every game on the road as a wild card, and then they won the Super Bowl. So the Lions have a lot of experience now under Dan Campbell. It's interesting that he took over the play calling offensively, but it seems to have worked. But I think it's all about the health of Detroit. If they're healthy, they got a chance to make a run.
Well, I think so also. I thought the Philadelphia game, I thought the Lions played pretty good defense. I mean,
no, they did. It was 16-9. I mean, they just didn't. Goff had a poor game. Now, Philadelphia had something to do with that, but like you said, if you get Laporta back, that's another element to your offense. And so I just think, Detroit. I think Jamison Williams, he doesn't need to be getting these penalties and just hanging on the goalpost, stuff like that. You got to refocus. I mean, he's too talented to do dumb stuff. Yeah.
But I will say in my closing, defensively, I thought it were very sound. I mean, how many teams could say they stopped the push? Probably, I think we stopped it 3 times.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken. That's pretty impressive.
And don't forget, pardon me, that Montgomery wasn't truly healthy in the playoffs last year either.
No. You're right. I think healthy is the answer that you gave me, and I pretty much knew that last year. It bit us in the butt, and I think this year, and you're correct. If we stay healthy, we have a very good chance of winning this. So, fellas, I've been on this earth for almost 67 years. I've seen every championship in the state of Michigan, but one, and that is the Lions.
Right, and I just think with Detroit, it's not, in the past, in the recent past, they've had home field and things of that nature, and they've played very well. Now they have the playoff experience. To me, it's not so much. Of course, you want home field, but it's more so the rhythm that you're playing with and the health. I think they have the capability and especially the explosiveness, if they're truly healthy offensively, to win on the road.
Yeah, I agree. Fellas, I'm excited about next week, the Iron Bowl, because my game is not going to be very competitive. I think Ohio State's going to pound us pretty good, but there's a lot going on with that Iron Bowl, especially since they lost to Oklahoma.
Right.
It's going to make that game a lot more important to it.
Pressure, no doubt, absolutely.
All right, man. Talk to you guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, lots going on with the Iron Bowl, and we'll delve into that starting on Monday. Plenty of time to get into that conversation. We got to get a break in because when we come back, Mick Hedgepeth will join us. We got to talk UAH men's basketball. We talked women's basketball in hour 1. We'll talk men's basketball in hour number 2.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A mostly cloudy and overcast sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-70s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are going to be a thing through the course of the afternoon into the evening. Not really talking about any sort of a threat for severe weather. We'll maintain the opportunity for rain as we head into the overnight, early into your Saturday. Temperatures drop into the mid-60s. A partly sunny to mostly cloudy sky Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the low 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Don't you wish that you had some secrets to help you get an edge on your business competition? Wouldn't it be great if someone could solve challenges at your company that you don't have the time or expertise to fix on your own? You know, there is a solution. Higher Echelon is a world-class consulting firm based in Huntsville that trains employees in sports psychology secrets to drastically improve work performance. Founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and has put that experience to good use. Higher Echelon helps organizations shave hundreds of hours off work time by improving processes, and Higher Echelon helps organizations save and make more money by walking them through technology updates and implementations. You don't have to go it alone, and you don't have to stay stuck. Higher Echelon is a trusted partner in organizational excellence. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com today to take your company to the next level. Go higher. And go Army.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. stock exchange, but there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 256-202-4200. That's 256-202-4200.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
This is your home for Alabama football.
Looking for Williams. Comes back, makes the catch. Trying to split defenders. Makes them bang into each other. Stays on his feet. Breaks a tackle. Scores. 4 + 2 = 6.
This is 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Slip inside the eye of your mind. Don't you know you might find
Oasis.
Look at you on fire.
Underrated.
Fire.
They were kind of a one-hit wonder a little bit with one album anyways. But
You want to try for the name of the classic in the arena?
hell no, you do that. You can just rattle it off. There's too many dadgum words for me.
Alabama Credit Union Classic presented by Power Brands Hospitality Group, Inside Sports Med Arena in Spraggins Hall.
I'm still working on the Inside Sports Med Arena at Spraggins Hall because I just always called it Spraggins. So
For
Sports Med
years.
Arena inside Spraggins
You
Hall.
you just don't got to even say Spraggins. You need to say Sports Med Arena.
Yeah, well, we're here because of them, Scott.
Sports Med Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center dedicated to providing care that improves lives, helping us connect with the UAH Chargers all season long. And tomorrow starts a gauntlet for the Chargers.
Yes.
Because they will play on Saturday. They will play on Sunday. Then they will enjoy Monday off. And then they will play again on Tuesday. Enjoy Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday off. And then turn around and play again on Saturday. So they got 3 games in 4 days. And then turn around and then play a 4th one. So, I mean, it's going to be a busy schedule here in the next 72 hours for this Charger squad.
Yeah, and of course we just caught up with Alan Sharpe, who's going into year 2 with the UAH ladies, who of course we know won 25 games last year, went to the regionals and reached the finals of the Gulf South Conference tournament. The UAH men had arguably the greatest season in school history, or at least one of the top 2 to 3, 32-2, Sweet 16 appearance, nearly getting to the Elite 8, and now they've started their season 1-1. Once again, facing Nova and having a heck of a battle, and then bouncing back to win an overtime game against Barry. And you'll have to please purchase a program, because this team is completely brand new, basically, in year 2 under Mick Hedgepeth. But he's been kind enough to join us, thanks to our good friends at SportsMed, to talk some UAH men's basketball this morning on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, with Drew and Scott, good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. It's great to be back on with you and spend some time together.
Yeah. And no doubt. And, Coach, before we delve into the first 2 games over in Tampa, I've got to ask, in Nova, pardon me, I've got to ask about the Mayor's Cup, because that was a really cool event, and the event center over there at Alabama A&M is a beautiful deal. How did it feel to kind of restart that? Because it was a very competitive game as well against a Division I program, but kind of talk about that Mayor's Cup contest.
Sure. Well, it was my first time in that facility. What an incredible new building. And then the crowd was amazing. I didn't see the final number, but I would guess 3,500, 4,000 people in there. It was incredibly loud, just an amazing opportunity for our guys. And I'm very grateful that A&M's staff and administration agreed to do that. And I hope we can continue to do so, because I think it's phenomenal for both schools and for the community as a whole. Obviously, it was a competitive game, and we played a great first half. They went on a big run there to start the second half, and then we battled back, and then it was close down the stretch. So I think it was. I told our team that's worth 10 practices to have that opportunity instead, and be able to simulate, that game environment and have the video and to be able to learn from that. So it was a great opportunity. Yeah.
And then you go from there. I think that was the 27th of October. You guys had only been on the floor, 3-4 practices, maybe before that, before the Mayor's Cup. And then you turn around and then you open up last weekend at Nova. That's a way to test a team that you're trying to figure out about.
Right. So the way the calendar fell this year, because the NCAA is trying to line up the Division I, II, and III national championship games in the same weekend, and obviously we're not allowed to play as many games as Division I. We had to start a couple weeks later. So Division I started, November, whatever it was, 5th, 6th, 7th. And then we weren't allowed to start until the 14th. So that's why there was a little bit of the gap there, earlier scrimmage and a later start date for us. And that's one of the reasons we have the gauntlet, as you guys said, of 3 games in 4 days here, because we had to squeeze in 6 games in about 2.5 weeks before we get started with conference play. But yeah, going down to Nova, especially with losing 11 guys, adding 10, losing right at 90% of our scoring and minutes. It was a big test. I was really proud of our effort. Coaching is funny, I think sometimes winning and losing doesn't reflect how you actually play. I thought we played really well, and Nova obviously, that they make the game hard in a number of areas, but I thought our aggressiveness, they definitely make teams kind of play back on their heels a little bit, but I thought we attacked them and had an aggressive mindset. Our toughness, our energy, we had some guys make some really big plays. Turnovers were kind of our Achilles heel in that game. But we were up 5 with 5.5 minutes left, and they made a few more plays than us down the stretch. So yet another close loss to Nova, which is tough, but at the same time, I think, we know that if we're playing at our best, we have a chance in those types of games. And then turn the page to Saturday against Barry, and we did not play our best in a lot of ways, especially defensively. Just kind of allowed a couple of their dynamic guards to get going early and gain a lot of confidence, and we turned it over again way too much, and did not play our best, but found a way, and was able to pull that one out in overtime, and there was a lot to learn from that weekend as well. So I think we'll be better because of it.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the guys that are not there, and you talk about the guys that returned. One of the things that you have to figure out is, especially when you get into tight ball games, is you got to learn who to put the ball in whose hands that's going to be able to come through. I mean, you're learning about and having to figure out guys that are who's going to step up, who you can count on, who's going to make the plays down the stretch, and that's something you've got to learn each and every game.
Exactly. Certainly in those situations and just at large. I've said this. I think one of the unique things about last year's team is they had all, with the exception of Blake Campbell, who came in and fit right in, they had all been playing together for multiple years. So when I came in, it was a lot of, we're learning, some tweaks in our system and terminology and on both sides of the ball and that type of thing. And then this year, they're learning that as well as each other. So that's just one of those situations that we're going to have to continue to navigate. And my hope is that we have a lot of room for improvement and continue to make big strides towards becoming our best throughout the season.
And I've through Steve, of course, I haven't been able to, I didn't get a chance to see you guys over at Nova, but certainly he came back with glowing remarks. But tell us about, Kentucky Wesleyan transfer Quentin Tolles. Quite a start for him in 2 games at UAH.
Yeah, Quentin, first of all, obviously he's a talented player, but he's just a phenomenal young man. I tell people, because our kids camps are a really big part of our program here. We'll have 3 weeks of 100+ kids, and our guys will come back and work, most of them who are available. And I think you can tell a lot about a guy by how good of a kids camp worker he is. And Quentin was at the top of the list in that area. Just his engagement, his character. So he fits right in terms of what we're looking for. But then, to his credit, he played phenomenal in both games this weekend and made some really big plays when we needed them, and created for himself, created for others. And he's a pretty dynamic guy and can get in the lane and put some pressure on the defense and draw to and create advantages for us. And that's been really valuable thus far. And I'm excited to see what the season brings Quentin.
Talk about the play as a whole. When you're playing Nova and you look at the stats and you look at the numbers, the one thing you go to is the amount of turnovers, because Nova will turn you over in a hurry. And you look at the assist to turnover ratio, and I am sure that number was not where you liked it for game 1, but was a lot of that stuff game 1 issues, or was it Nova just doing what Nova does?
Well, our assisted turnover is certainly not where we want it to be. I do think both of those games are kind of different type games, maybe a little bit atypical. Nova is obviously, who they are. And I feel like the more you pass it against them, you can put yourself in some trouble.
Yeah.
So we've had kind of more of a unique game plan against them and kind of knew that wouldn't be the case. But we still had, as I told our team, a lot of, winning and losing comes down to the margins. It's 3 or 4 of those turnovers that were more self-inflicted than Nova inflicted, right? That obviously I wish we could get back, and we've got to learn from those. And then Barry, we scored 100 points on 8 assists. That might be the first time that's ever happened in my career. So we were really effective, but there wasn't the movement, the ball and player movement that we're accustomed to. And part of that is Barry's really big. I think they have 7 players that are 6'7" or taller. They have 6 Division I transfers, and their philosophy is kind of, hey, we're not going to help off of anyone, and we're going to make it a one-on-one type game. And in ball screens, we're going to be in drop coverage and play it 2-on-2 and not tag and rotate. And that type of thing, so that they kind of force you to play in isolation a little bit more. And we ended up attacking certain matchups, and it was working, and they weren't helping. So it was other than turning it over, I don't know that we'll see a lot of teams who do that. So those were two unique games stylistically that I think led to those numbers, but we can certainly do a better job with the turnovers. And then from the assist standpoint, we're 30% from three right now. Obviously, it would help if we made some more open shots. I thought we got a lot of clean looks. That would help our assist numbers as well.
Well, and Coach, what are you hoping to get out of this? Because it's going to be a busy next few days, but you're certainly playing back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday. You're playing Bluefield at 4:00 on Saturday, and then on Sunday, South Carolina Beaufort is coming to Sportsmed Arena in Spraggins Hall at 3:00 on Sunday. So let us give us a little bit of a preview of those matchups, Coach.
Well, first of all, I think I was disappointed in our turnaround last Friday to Saturday.
To Barry, right.
And at the end of the day, it's a tournament sport. That's how our conference tournament is similar. Certainly the regional tournament is literally Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, what we're exactly about to play. So my hope is that we can, I don't know, I told our team we can make zero excuses, whether it's long travel to Nova or playing Nova is like playing, a game and a half or two, and then you turn around and play Barry on a quick turnaround. But, and we can make whatever remarks we want about our legs or anything like that. But at the end of the day, you can't make excuses, and you got to go out and be better. And that's the name of the game, especially in tournament play. So I hope that we can play UAH basketball. I know we're not going to be perfect, but I hope we can make strides in some growth areas in all three of these games. Bluefield's really talented. I think they lost to a Division II team last night by 10. Lee McRae. They were down to Presbyterian Division I by, I think, single digits, maybe 9 or 10 at halftime in their game. They have a guard, number 0, White, for them, who is very, very good and capable of taking a game over and having a really, really big night. So that'll be a key point defensively. And then they have, a lot of length, a lot of athleticism, really good rim protection. They fly around. They really change up their looks. They got a man and different ball screen coverages and a 2-3 and a 3-2 and zone press, man press. They play a lot of different things to try to keep you off balance. So that will be the first time we've faced that type of defensive coverage. And then South Carolina Beaufort, they're undefeated and won 21 games last year. Their coach has a West Liberty background, so it's pressing and up tempo. And I would have to go look. I'm sure they're averaging around 100 points a game. I mean, it will be similar to the style that we faced against Nova. So it'll be. It's not like we're going to face teams that play the same way. So it will be similar to last weekend in that regard. And it'll be a really big challenge for us on Sunday as well.
A chance too, Saturday and Sunday, to really, I guess, try to find guys too off the bench, right? Try to find guys that can come off the bench, contribute, find roles, and get a better rotation.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. I think starters, bench guys. I think we're continuing to gel and figure out who plays well together. And maybe with this lineup, we really need a good defender in there, or whatever the case may be. So I do hope to go a little bit deeper into the bench in these games, especially with 3 out of 4, and give some guys some opportunities that maybe didn't have as much of an opportunity last weekend. And I'm excited to see what they do with those, and I'm excited to see a good crowd here in Spraggins. I was here on Wednesday night when the women's team took on Reinhardt, and it was just I was just really excited to be back in here and see some college basketball. It seems like it's been a long time, so really looking forward to the weekend.
Well, we appreciate the visit, courtesy of Sports Med Surgery and Spine Center. And look forward to it, Coach. Sports Med Arena in Spraggins Hall on Saturday at 4 p.m. as you take on Bluefield in your home opener. Thank you, Coach. We appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the coverage, as always.
Thanks, Coach. Mick Hedgepeth, kind enough to join us, previewing the – come on, do it.
Can't do it. Just read it.
The Alabama Credit Union Classic presented by Power Brands Hospitality Group.
Thank you. We can go on break and we'll get a really quick lay of the land.
Lay of the land.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
Hey folks, Bob Baumhauer here. We're extremely proud that Baumhauer's Victory Grill has been serving Alabama for 43 legendary years. Our motto is legendary fun, legendary food, and we strive to make every dining experience a special one for all of our guests. Our menu features delicious, always fresh and scratch-made in-house recipes. And of course, our award-winning wings and sauces. And don't forget, our happy hour and halftime daily specials cannot be beat. Baumhauer's Victory Grill, legendary fun, legendary food.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Let's get you real quick a little lay of the land for high school football playoffs. We talked about it at the top of the show this morning. Scottsboro a winner, Plainview a winner.
Yep.
Let's get a lay of the land with Jimmy Lay real fast.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey guys, morning. Yeah, big win for Plainview last night, going to the semifinals for the first time since 1999. Wendell Pruitt was also their coach, so he's got some experience there. They're going to get the winner of Anniston and Deschler tonight in the rain. I kind of expect Anniston to win that one. They're just too big, and that's going to be a really great game next week probably, and it will be at Plainview. Mars Hill, Geraldine tonight. Another big game. You know, they split the last 2 times they met in the playoffs. Geraldine got them a few years ago. Mars Hill got them last year. And Mars Hill's just rolling. I mean, they're averaging, 324 yards a game rushing, 52 points a game, just crazy numbers. Big win by Scottsboro getting to the semifinals. And so we just still got a lot going on here in the area. But hey, man, high school football is not over yet. There's still a lot of great things happening.
Yeah, and Scottsboro will host the winner of Moody. Moody will take on, I believe, Briarwood. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup next week too, Jimmy.
Absolutely. Scottsboro, I mean, that's huge for that program, and we just wish them all the luck.
Yeah, Tyler Van done a
First
great
time
job.
since
Thank you, Jimmy.
97 that they've been into the semifinals. So.
Some high school hoops tonight, too. Huntsville hosting the Decatur Red Raiders.
All right, guys, back at it Monday morning. You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota